How's it going, everybody? It is February 16th. We're going to do a quick sales update here, and I want to talk about the uh, the ad that I've been discussing last couple of days, which is a $50 budget for one day, and then I'll just let the ad run just a few bucks a day to keep it active. But there have been a couple of, I guess, suggestions, recommendations that I've actually uh, taken into consideration since I kind of expressed this idea. And number one, a lot of people are into it because there's some thought, I guess, discussion on what's going to happen. There's a group that thinks that it will just be a waste of money, depending on, for example, uh, the budget that I set. So, for example, if I go with, let me see what the right terminology here is before I get into it. So if I go with the recommended bid, people are saying that the money won't be uh, spent, especially depending on the type of product that I select. Other people are saying even if I uh, set that budget as, for example, a dollar per bid or even more, then it's gonna be put in front of people, but basically, people are saying it will be just a waste of money. Other people think that it's actually going to work because if there are any sales during that day, then the BSR, uh, gets lower, and that creates organic sales. So I actually think it's a pretty good experiment because I was just gonna do like a random day and one product, for example, that I'm gonna go with a T-shirt that has sales and maybe even a bunch of reviews and all that kind of stuff. So I know that that product sells. I'm gonna go with a niche that has a lot of click through, so it won't be something completely unique where the money just isn't gonna be spent. Uh, and then also people suggested that I be careful with the day. So people are saying, you know what, you might want to run it on a Friday or a Saturday. So because today's Thursday and I'm gonna be working with Eastern Standard Time here, uh, I'm gonna if I run it tomorrow, which is Friday, I think I'm gonna make it live maybe in the morning and give it 24 hours or so. We'll see. But I think that's actually, so there are a number of things that I've like the suggestions that I've received. I'm going to take those into consideration. I'm going to pick a product. I'll see how much time I have tonight and maybe iron out those details today, and then maybe have it the ad active tomorrow, and then I'll share that status with you guys. I think this is going to be an interesting experience and a little exercise, but let's get into these numbers. And I really hope that the $50 aren't completely wasted. At least we'll get some info out of it. So February um, is interesting. And here's why. My U.S. sales are I definitely not that good. Like as you can see here, like I'm getting threes and fours. Like a eight is an exception, and even sixes are higher. At least if we're looking at the last 7 days. So far, I have 80 sales this month. That's almost $1,500 in sales and $250 in royalties. Last year, I was actually just looking at this before I started recording this video. So last year, February 2022, look at this. My January went from 110 to 200 in the US. That's not going to happen this year. I think if something doesn't happen the last part of the month, this is going to be a slower month than even January. Now, here's the difference. Last year, 200 sales in the US, and the total, this is actually, no, not the total. Uh, the the same time frame this year, so this is this month so far, first 15 days, 129 versus last month. So even though my US sales are behind last year's same time frame, what's happening is my overall sales are much stronger, and it's actually giving me more total sales. So my total sales are better than last year, but last year's US performance was just crushing it compared to, this year. So, and I know I've talked about this before, and the importance of every single marketplace. The reason I bring it up so often is there are people that still will say, forget about Japan, forget about, Spain or whatever, where my approach is no, don't. Because number one, we all want our products to go viral. We all want, you know, one product to pay our mortgage and our rent and everything, and then, uh, for the just to make money regularly. But if you don't get that success with one marketplace, then what's going to happen is the other marketplaces are going to be extremely helpful, because even small numbers add up. And when you add up all these numbers and add them to your overall the biggest marketplace and that share, uh, you're getting a significant amount of money that you wouldn't be getting otherwise if you were just ignoring the marketplaces. Now I understand there are things to consider. For example, if you're in lower tiers and your uploads and all that kind of stuff, you want to push it to the main marketplace depending on your research, all that kind of stuff. But in general, what I want to say is that every marketplace is so important. And I've put out videos, I remember during the last year, where just having small successes in all these other marketplaces were keeping me satisfied and giving me enough money to consider this profitable, and to keep going with it, because a lot of people would get discouraged with these kinds of sales, right? But for me, just overall, I'm happy. So anyways, that's where I'm sitting right now at 129 sales so far, first 15 days, and we'll see where I'm going to end up. I mean, 80 sales so far. Uh, in the US, I don't know if I'm going to beat January, but either way, I mean, I'm just kind of getting my usual numbers. So anyways, I'll give you guys another update, I'm sure, in a couple of days, but for now, I think I'm going to prepare for the ad. I'm going to pick out a product and then see if I can think about the bid amount and all that. If I just kind of want to make it, as big as possible to get the clicks, to get the product in front of people. But we'll see. Either way, I think it's going to be interesting. Either way, I might lose money, or by some weird chance, which I don't think will happen, it might be a successful marketing campaign. We'll see. Anyways, for now, I'll just wrap it up, and thank you guys. I'll talk to you soon.